So you want to go out to bars and clubs to meet girls and practice your game and social skills, but none of your friends want to go with you? For those who are willing to overcome some anxiety, going out solo may be the solution. In this video, we are going to cover the pros and cons of going out to bars and clubs alone. The biggest benefit of going out alone is probably the one that made you think of even doing it in the first place, which is being able to go regularly and often enough to actually improve and to give yourself enough chances for success. Not being reliant on your friends' availability or willingness to go out lets you do so on your own terms. Maybe your friends are in relationships or don't like going out at all. In that case, being able to go out alone might even be your only option. Like everything, consistency and regular practice is key to improving your skills when talking to girls, and that often requires going out more than your friends are willing to. Also, to a large extent, going out with the intention of meeting girls is a numbers game. Going out regularly, even when you fail to convince anyone to join you, allows you to be exposed to more opportunities to meet girls that really like you. Another benefit is that you are forced to build self-confidence and a high resistance to feelings of anxiety or awkwardness. The general norm is that going to these places is something you do with a friend or a group. So going alone forces you to develop a willingness to do your own thing, even if it isn't as common. Being able to overcome social norms and pressures gives you a degree of freedom that transfers to being able to be calm when approaching women in general, and gives you a self-assured vibe in even the most intense social situations. When you first start going out alone, you might have an inner dialogue that is making you feel weird or judged for being by yourself. As you practice going solo, you learn to control your inner dialogue through various means, including focusing on observing others instead of judging yourself and how you think you come across. A less thought about advantage of going alone is that maneuvering around a crowded club and bouncing between venues throughout the night is a lot simpler when alone. This agility helps you more efficiently structure your night to maximize your interactions with girls. If one club sucks, you can easily go to another venue across the street and return back later in the night once the crowd improves. This can be hard to do with friends, especially if they are less serious about making the most of the night, or if they are impatient and don't like moving around or waiting in lines for better venues. As you gain experience in these environments and gain practice talking to girls, you might find that your friends sometimes slow you down. They might be awkward about moving through crowds due to their lower experience level, and they might not be effective wingmen when you talk to girls. Some guys will have too much anxiety and not want to approach girls with you, and some will approach girls with you, but their awkwardness may ruin the interaction. With more toxic friends, you might feel judged by them when you get rejected or have an awkward interaction. If you don't have supportive friends, then not having to worry about being judged is a plus of going alone. Although there are some benefits of going out alone, you should be aware of the bad side of doing this. Just like how being alone can give you more independence in running your night, you also lack the support that having friends with you can provide. Rejections happen, and some of them are harsher than others. Whenever you have a rejection or a bad interaction, you can't just go to your friends and laugh it off. When you are alone, you have to figure out other ways to handle your negative emotions and to keep yourself in a positive state. Another challenge with going out alone is that you don't have a wingman, which can make talking to groups, and especially groups of two girls, challenging. More often than not, girls go out with friends. If you are by yourself, you usually have to manage a conversation with the entire group before you can talk one-on-one with the girl you're interested in. This is most challenging when girls are in a group of two, because one will easily feel left out and isolated if you are just talking to one of them. Having a friend with you makes this a lot easier, as you can pair off and keep the whole group entertained, and each of you can get more one-on-one time with the girls you're interested in. Although it is definitely possible to manage groups when you are solo, it is more complicated than if you had a wingman. The last big downside of going out alone is that you will sometimes have to find ways to explain why you are there solo. As I said at the start of the video, people normally go out in groups, so some may find it unusual that you would go out by yourself. Not everyone will notice or point it out, but the ones that do may have reactions ranging from being impressed that you have the confidence to go out on your own terms, to the other side of the spectrum, with them thinking you are a bit of a loner for not having friends to go with. If you go out solo, I would have a plan ahead of time on what you are going to say. Some options include saying that you came with a friend but he left, or that he was talking to a girl and you lost him. Or you could just be honest. If you choose to be honest, make sure to frame it as something that isn't a big deal to you, and emphasize that your friends just didn't want to go out, and not that you don't have friends at all. I normally choose my explanation based on the vibe of the girl. If she seems dumb and judgmental, I will lie and say I lost my friends. But if they seem down to earth, I will just be honest and make sure to act like it isn't a big deal, because it really isn't. Despite all the downsides of going out alone, being able to experience all the benefits that Nightgame brings, without needing to rely on friends to support you, gives you a high degree of freedom when trying to improve yourself socially or with girls. Even if you aren't going all the way with the girls you're meeting, exchanging Instagrams is a great way to keep in touch and expand your social circle. If you are interested in improving your Instagram so that you can use it as a tool for meeting women and making high-status friends, check out my other guides on this channel or look into my Instagram maxing course and community. It is free right now, but won't be for long, so be sure to join now and lock in your free membership.